All right, welcome back to GB9 Garage. Today we're going to try to finish up getting those air boxes installed. Just got to hook up the hoses that go up to the throttle bodies, so that's no big deal. I did break a little bit of this one off, so I've glued it and epoxied it back on. I think it's going to be fine. There's not a lot of pressure on that area anyway, just to kind of help seal it up. So should be good to go. Get these installed, and then it's just a lot of electrical plugs to get plugged back in, and should be able to get a lot of progress done today. So let's get going. Okay, so I already got the other throttle body cleaned up and installed, and I'm just going to get this one cleaned up. But you can see it's pretty fouled out by just road grime and dirt and grease, but there's also some oil in here, clearly indicating that those PCV valves were bad and needed to be replaced anyway. So if you're going to replace the PCV valves, why not just change the whole engine, right? Anyway, I'll get this cleaned up and get this one installed and move on to the next step. Well, okay, I got that all cleaned up. I don't know if you can see that any better, but definitely cleaner than it was before. I wouldn't say it looks brand new, but much closer. Getting ready to put this in, and I realized that this is the one from the passenger side manifold. So that means I put the other one on already is the passenger side, which means that that's supposed to be on the other side. So I doubt it makes any difference, to be honest. If I bought a brand new one, I put it on, it would be on whatever side I got it. They're not left and right. They're exactly the same. But I went through all this trouble of using the old throttle bodies instead of the new ones that came on the new engine, just to keep everything sort of the same, or as much the same for the computer as possible. So as much as it's a bit of a burden, it's only 4 bolts. I think I'm gonna go ahead and take that one back off, put it on the right side, and put this one on the right side, but the correct side, and then put this one on the passenger side. So I think that's what I'll do now. Get these installed. All right, got both the throttle bodies back installed. Everything's plugged in, cleaned up, looking good. They're both installed back on their original side, whatever that really matters. So let's get back to work on the other stuff. Okay, so if you can see those 3 studs right there, those are the 3 bulkhead ground studs for the electrical on this side of the car. This is the passenger side of the car, right behind where the fuse box is and everything. So when the directions said to remove the ground from the bulkhead, I just removed all 3 of those, and then there's another one on the other side of the car. So I removed all 4 total, and I removed all 3 of these. But the reality is only the bottom one of those 3 is for the engine harness, and the other 2 are part of what's already attached to the car. So those were completely unnecessary to remove. Just the bottom one was all you need. So if you're ever trying to remove the ground to remove the harness, just do the bottom one of those 3. All right, moving on. All right. Next step is to put the steering shaft back in. We are getting close on this thing. All right, so I'm trying to get that steering column installed, and I'm having to get pretty creative here. The steering shaft that comes out of the steering wheel doesn't go through the firewall. It stays inside the cab, so it just drops down into like the brake pedal area. And then I got to get it lined up though with the shaft outside, and it's just not easy. So I'm using a jack stand to hold the steering shaft right about the middle of the hole through the firewall, and now hopefully I can get that shaft lined up from the outside and get it pushed on. Okay, so I don't actually think that when I was taking the thing apart, in fact, going back through the instructions, there was no instruction to take out the washer fluid reservoir, but to get up in here where the fuse box was and all, I thought it would probably be easier. Plus, this piece here was broken, and then the part where it attaches in the back was actually completely disconnected. I don't know if you've watched Steve from Aston 1936's videos, but putting this back in is an extraordinary challenge because this is literally behind it and between the side of the car and where it needs to go. So it's a real challenge to get your hands in there. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Steve went and cut a slot in there so he could feed the bolt in first and then push this on after. I'm going to try to do it without putting the slot in there. I don't know why. I've already put slots in like 3 other places. Why not? But I'm going to try without it because I think I can get my hand in there. I'm not totally sure. We'll see. But otherwise, I got to get this thing put in. And the fact that you saw the jack stand video earlier means that it did work. So there we go. Awesome. That was a good one. All right. So let's get this installed. All right. So I used a ratchet. If I had a pneumatic ratchet, I think this would be a lot easier. You could just stick it in and start tightening it up. But I don't have one of those. So I just used a regular ratchet, taped the nut to the ratchet, and then I was able to get it fed in there and get it tightened up. So I think we're good to go. We'll just get this tightened up the rest of the way, and that's installed. And I actually went ahead and just installed the fuse box before I did this, just so that it kind of seemed like this might be my way, and I don't know if it really was, but the fuse box is all installed now as well. That was a real pain in the ass to get it lined back up. The bracket that holds it in is really flimsy, and so it bends really easy. So I think it got just a little bit out of shape, and therefore made it really difficult for me to get this set back on it. But I got it back on, got all the plugs plugged back in, finished this up, and then we should be able to get things buttoned up in this area. Got a lot done today. I'm going to turn the key for the first time. I am not going to get too far here, but I just want to see if everything comes on. And we have power. So we're not going to hit the start button, of course. We don't have any oil yet, so we'll get there. But the CD player is going crazy. Yeah, there was a reason why I did this. Okay, I got the key in the ignition. Got it turned on. Got a couple of alarms, of course. That's not too shocking. But I need to do two things. One, I was able to pop the trunk, so now I should hopefully be able to get that rear suspension bolt in. And then number two, I needed to download the program to send off to Velocity AP so they can fix that and get that back to me. So I should be able to do that now as well. So there you go. Key is in. Car turns on. Got a couple of little faults, but nothing that looks too shocking. Probably because the battery was out for a while. So we're getting super close. Gonna put some oil in this tomorrow and some radiator fluid or coolant, and probably put some power steering fluid, power brake fluid in it. Even though those all have to be bled, but I might be able to hit that start switch here pretty quick. I think that's going to be it for today, though. So thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Yeah, if you like the video, like and subscribe, and stay tuned because I think we're going to be hitting that start button here real quick.